What's up? I'm Austin Griffith. I'm here with the Build Guild, and it's Bowtie Friday, and we're showing off Build Guild Bowtie Friday prototypes. But I want to start with something kind of different. I want to talk about builds happening in parallel, and because we had something kind of similar happen to this, where we have all these cool ideas. Sometimes they come from people that want to build something with us. Sometimes they come internally. Sometimes it's like a designer comes up with an awesome design. In this case, Olga came up with this awesome sock design. I could pull up the Figma, but it's like we were thinking SVG NFT socks. And she came up with the Figma, and we dropped it into a Telegram channel, and we all started like questing on it. And kind of at the same time, someone was asking me about something they could work on, and I sent them the Figma also. And this resulted in kind of a month later, two kind of similar builds where we probably did some work that's similar between the two parties, kind of questing in parallel. And first of all, I want to apologize for that. Sorry that happened. Like sometimes that happens in a build guild, and it's just sort of part of, we build things and we put them on the shelf, and we build things and we put them on the shelf, and it's about your educational journey and learning and building. Sometimes some things go on the shelf or come off the shelf and not everybody knows about it. So there is some duplicate work sometimes, and let's like not be allergic to that, right? Like it'll happen now and then because we're all just kind of like questing in parallel and trying things out. And it's okay also if you get 60% of the way through and you put something on the shelf and you move on to something else. Like that happens in the build guild too. So sorry that we had some duplicate work, but I just want to share kind of the different versions and kind of what happened here. So we had like we had this version, I think, was in progress for probably like a month. We've been working on this, and it's really nice, like a really nice touch. Like they're like SVG NFTs. Where you can like craft them, basically. It's kind of like on-chain crafted SVG NFTs with Olga's awesome graphics. And this is like another version. So here's one version and here's another version. And they're like very, very similar, where we have all the same sort of assets. And in this version that just kind of showed up from Avelous, and I think Avelous, you'll show us off your front end, and maybe I can hand it off to you. But it's very similar between the two, and I think you guys both forked the Arrogant Parrot repo. So you started from a repo that was on the shelf from another build from the same spot, which is really interesting. And to lean into that, like to talk about these build guild balloons and talk about ABI Ninja, like ABI Ninja was probably touched by 6 devs on the way between becoming, starting as a starting build and becoming an actual build, and it went on the shelf multiple times. So it just happens that we have folks that will pick up a build and have it on a shelf, and sometimes we get some duplicate work, and I'm sorry that happens. We try not to do it very often, but I just want to apologize to Build Guild members that know that, like, sometimes you're questing on something. Hopefully it's mostly for your education. The build is a combo move, really. So, okay, so a long-winded way of saying Avelous has a cool front end to show off that's also similar to another front end we're working on. But Avelous, if you want to take it away, let's see that build. And the scratch and sniff kind of thing is the most fun part of it. You kind of mint this sock, but then it's hidden, and then you can kind of like scratch it off with a little coin cursor. It's pretty cool stuff.
All right, let me take it from here.
Yeah.
I'll share my screen now.
And Mcyande.eth is the person who did the smart contracts for this.
Yeah.
You guys kind of were working quietly and on the side, and I didn't know about it. Go ahead, though. Take it away. Sure. It's such a fun front end.
Can you see the screen?
Yep, we got it.
Okay. So it's just a simple. Okay, you've already explained the NFT. So what you do is this is the home page, and you can mint. This is the mint box. You can select the NFT you want to mint. So the basic NFT is the socks, and the rest are just accessories that you can add to the socks. So let me mint a socks. So I have socks selected. There are 3,019 socks left. So let me mint one. Let me just move this away. Okay. So it says here mint and scratch of the protective layer to view your NFT. So the transaction is currently ongoing. Let's say your transaction.
Oh no, it failed. It looks like the transaction failed. No, Goerli.
Let me refresh and try again. Okay.
I'm minting one too right now.
The counter definitely went down though, which is odd if it failed.
Wow, I just got a failed transaction too. Yikes. I don't know what's up.
It might be the re-rendering of the web of the data. It's an issue.
Can't the price curve sometimes cause it to fail when two people are minting at the same time?
Yes,
Yeah.
if multiple people are hitting it. Yeah, we need to set up the price curve so it has a little leeway, a little slippage that you can get refunded if it doesn't get covered, rather than just failing.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm supposed to be able to resolve this. Okay, let only me just try it then. Okay.
I just did another one too and it failed. Darn it.
Okay, so
Oh, this is going to work here in a second after the transaction is successful. There it goes. You kind of like scratch it off with the coin, right?
Yeah, you cannot view your socks. So it's just the same thing for the other accessories too, for the background, the leg, the peg, the pattern, the logo. So let's just try a pattern. So I mint a pattern. Okay. Transaction has started. Successful. NFT minted. So you can scratch off to see your pattern. So this is the pattern here. So
and then there's a whole crafting element to it too. Once you own the socks, you can start to put together a background and a pattern and a logo.
Yes, let me just demo that right now. So I'll go to these are the socks I have. You can also check for, I think I've minted the background earlier. So the pattern I just minted, this is it. All right, so I can go back to my socks and also add some styles to it. I can add this background. So then I upgrade it then. Okay. Confirm. Okay, so transaction successful. So it will fresh now. Yeah,
there it is. Nice background.
It's
like you definitely wouldn't do this on mainnet though, right? Like all the mainnet transactions to craft together the sock. Like this is definitely like an L2 NFT, I think.
Yeah. So let me add the pattern to the.
And all of this stuff is on chain, right? Like the sock,
everything, the sock
pattern. Yeah, like this is drawn in the smart contract. They're drawn like by the smart contract, which is so cool. Well, I mean, Olga drew them and then we put them into the smart contract and the smart contract renders them.
Yeah. So that's the pattern on the socks.
That's so cool. I would wear those socks.
Let me also add a shoe to it. Let me mint a shoe and add a shoe.
And like the legs too, there's like hairy legs that you can like put in the sock. There's one right there, yeah. So we have kind of two different builds here that we'll have to figure out how to. I think, Olga, you even had calls with other developers and we've kind of had something else in parallel. I wonder if we could maybe join forces and figure out how we can merge, because the two builds are very similar, but yeah.
I mean, they're similar, but they're doing like they're a bit different too, because in one you can pick the shoe and leg and everything, and actually that socks was basically the project which was about the socks, and there was a guide how to wear those socks. But this is actually fun to have a shoe and the patterns for your socks, but you can apply on top. That's a good idea.
And it's still on Goerli too, so we can decide kind of next steps here and where to put it and what to have, what features to have too. So I joined everybody up in the same channel and we can kind of chat more there about kind of next steps here. Oh, here comes a shoe on the sock. Drawn by a smart contract and crafted on chain. There it is. Hooray. Good build, Avelous. Good build, Mcyande. We got to figure out
So
how to bring you guys
this,
all together. Yeah, go.
If you want to look at the smart contract, I think I have the smart contract here. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, throw it up here.
can you see it? Can you see my VS code?
No, right now I see the socks still, I think.
Yeah. Let me just hold on a bit.
I think it's like you just have the window shared. You might have to reshare and select a different window.
Okay. All right, can you see it now?
Yep, there it is.
Okay. So we have the leg contract, the logo, pattern, peg, shoe, and the socks. And we also have the libraries. The libraries holds the SVGs of all the combinations.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we have different.
Look at all that.
Yeah. So we also have
How much?
So
we'll have to figure out how much it costs to put on chain, and it's going to be expensive to deploy these contracts.
It's quite expensive.
That's so cool, though. That's how it works.
Yeah. So we also have okay. So what whenever the actual way the contract renders the image, it actually sends when you upgrade your NFT, it sends that NFT to this smart contract. Then there is an on ERC20 received function virtual. There's a virtual function that gets automatically called and updates the data in the contract so that when it renders the image, the SVG, it gets the SVG of the accessory you upgraded it with. So we have the let me look for the render token by ID. So if you initially get the body of the body is like the main socks, then if there is a pattern ID, it also calls the pattern and add it to the socks. Also for the logo, if there's a logo ID, it calls the logo. Similar for all the rest accessories. So that's how it renders the image of the SVG.
That's awesome. Like renders it by like layering in the different assets that have been combined on behalf of it. You could even have like there's a background image. That background image could even be a loogie tank, and it could render the entire loogie tank and all the loogies swimming around in it with all the different other SVG NFTs, and then like your layer on top of it of the shoe and sock. That's you wouldn't do that, but that's hilarious and awesome that you can with composable SVG NFTs. Great build, Avelous, and let's see. I don't know. Let's see where this goes. Let's see what we can make for a mainnet version or a public, real money version one day soon.
All right.
Good work, man. Yeah, we'll have to get Mcyande all together with the other crew and see what we could do for next steps.
Yeah.
Awesome work. Okay, next up, I think it's Carlos with a junkyard build. Let's see it, Carlos.
Yeah, so like ETH Denver is in a few weeks, and a bunch of like folks from the BuidlGuidl, like we are going to be there, and we are going to have like a booth, right? Where we are going to have like some flyers or like can you show Austin like the kiosk that you have there? Yeah, so like a touch screen, right? And we are going to put like some fancy stuff in there, and we want people to come into the booth and understand what the BuidlGuidl is. And we have been like brainstorming a bunch of ideas on what to build for the booth. And one of them is like to give people like free money, right? Even if it's like free like testnet money. So I've been building this like faucet, I guess, or the dropper for like testnet like Goerli and Sepolia ETH. So people can come with their address and just scan their address, and they will get like some testnet. Yes, let me try. Can you see my screen?
Yep, we've got it.
Okay,
Testnet
cool.
faucet.
Yeah, I mean, this is like when I build something, my first like obsession is just to have like a prototype like working like end to end. So this is why this looks ugly still, but I mean, next steps are like some security and the UI. So yeah, let me see if this works, because since I have the camera, I'm not sure if this is going to. Yeah, let me say. No. What if I? Yeah, let's see. If I stop my video here, can I? Oh yes, nice.
Yeah, we gotcha. That's
so
cool.
now I can.
So this would be
Boom.
someone walking up to the booth.
Yeah.
They just showed their public address. Is that right?
Yes.
And it just dropped them.
Yeah.
Some Goerli and Sepolia.
Yes.
That's great.
So yeah, let me. Yeah, I have like, I think I'm going to steal like some of these like design from Figma. I think it's going to be like, like I love like this, I don't know, like the clouds and the castle and the unicorn. I think it's going to be like that theme. I'm also thinking about like this, like, big buttons, like something like this, So, and I try to make it like vertical, I guess, because the kiosk is going to be like vertical. So yeah. So that's like next steps. And also, this was like an excuse to start building something with the Scaffold-Eth too, because I've been like working on the tool so much that I need to work on something that, something real, like a build. And it is amazing. For example, like we are using Next.js on Scaffold-Eth too. And for example, for the backend, where this is where we are like sending the actual funds. It's just like creating the instantiating the providers at the wallet and connecting the provider to them, and just like sending the transaction. Right. So this is amazing because with Next, you just, create like a API folder inside pages. And this is just automatically endpoint, right? So you just deploy this to Vercel and you have like an endpoint working, and you don't need to worry about the backend because the backend is already built on Next. And then, from the front, it's just like sending like a fetch a request to the backend. And next step, I was thinking about also some security, right? Because right now, actually, let me paste the address here, so you guys can try if you want. So the thing now that this is like unprotected, right? So if you like, everyone can go there and just like claim forever, right? Because like the backend is not checking anything, right? It's just like checking the request. And even if I put like a API key, it doesn't matter because you can like expect, your browser and see like the API key there. So one thing could be we just go to the booth and have like a secret URL and we hide it on the kiosk, so that would be fine. But I think something that we can do is just making the app to log with the backend with your wallet. So for example, we have like some like whitelisted addresses on the backend, and you just sign a transaction on the app, and then that app that you are seeing is like connected to the backend, and you sign the transaction, okay, like login, and then only that instance of the website is working. So I think that's going to be my implementation. I don't know.
Similar thing we're thinking about, if we have one of these kiosks and it's an NFT that you can mint, how do we set it up so you can only mint it right there at that kiosk and nowhere else in the world anytime? And it's a tricky thing to come up with, because someone could, if it's just like, I'll give you a code and you can take that code and submit it to the smart contract, someone can front run that, right? There's a handful of different ways you can attack a handful of different simple solutions. And it usually, in my mind, gets to, we'll have some signing account that is like whitelisted. And if you have a signature from a whitelisted account, that you must have gotten it right here from this machine somehow, something along those lines.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
Yeah,
go ahead, man. I was thinking more like a slot machine too, right? Where this could be also dropping them random fun things too, where it scans you and it spins a wheel and it gives you some Goerli and Sepolia, but also like randomly gives you like a loogie or some like real mainnet ETH or something like that.
Yeah, no,
Could
I
be
mean, like
fun.
now that this is working, I think like we can just like start thinking about like
Working
crazy
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like we could also like check if someone comes with their QR, and we can like check if that address is already on Speedrun Ethereum, and maybe like recommend them some stuff, or give them like some extra stuff if they are already part of the Speedrun. I don't know, or depending on the challenge that they have. I don't know, so we can build like some fancy stuff.
Another thing is being able to input an ENS. Like if you walk up to the booth and you don't want to have to like pull out your camera, you could just like type in vitalik.eth and hit enter like on the screen or something like that. Like maybe we have a little keyboard sitting there with it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
cool. Awesome stuff, man. Good. I've been tinkering around with some little kiosks too, so we'll definitely have a couple of those in Denver with us. I think Gennaro and Lorenzo are up with their Mad Libs SVG NFT. We've seen a couple on-chain NFTs now. This is awesome. Take it away, guys.
Okay, maybe I can share the screen.
Yes, please.
Okay, do you see my screen?
We've got it. Yep.
Okay, so I made a little presentation for this game, because last time that I presented it on a Telegram group, maybe there was some misunderstanding on how it's supposed to work. Okay, so this is a little introduction to explain how we talked about this game. So we started thinking about Mad Libs game based on a tweet that you shared on Telegram group. So we took this opportunity and tried to make our own Mad Libs game. So the idea was that some user mint this NFT. This NFT contains different attributes, and the principal one is the phrase. So the user thinks about the one phrases and put some strategic blanks in these phrases that can be ambiguous, and so on these blanks to fill there is the participation of the community. So as I said, this NFT is based on an SVG. In fact, we took this text and put in an SVG NFT as an image. So now that the user that mint the item put these blanks in these phrases, here comes the proposal made from other user. So we have other user that participate to this game that insert their own proposal. For example, here we have 3 blanks. So the user have to put 3 blanks to fill these blanks. So for example, these are the 3 proposals that we have in this presentation, and then this proposal lead to another participation from community, because now other user, so the same user that minted or the same user that participate in inserting a proposal now can vote all the proposal that the community insert for these Mad Libs. So user participate voting this proposal, and the best proposal then we decide the proposal with the most vote by community will win this round, And this proposal then will fill these blanks, and the NFT change its aspect, showing the phrase with the best proposal in it. So for now, the working is that the user that mint the initial NFT own this final NFT. But we talked about next improvement for this game, and the first one that we think about was to tokenize the NFT in order to make the not only the minter the owner of this NFT, but also to involve the community. So the best, for example, the top 3, top 5 proposal, and the owner. And the winner with the top proposal, we know will own this NFT. So we thought it's more fair, and maybe can also lead to more participation by the community, organizing this in that way. And other improvement that we decided to do is made this contract upgradable, in order to not publish, not to change any times the contract, and also some fixing in bug, because we discovered that now we doesn't track the user and the proposal. So we doesn't know which user vote proposal. So we have to make also that, and best part will be to improve the UI, because now it's very basic, and we took from Scaffold-Eth, so it's very minimal. And maybe I can show also the how it works. For example, another thing is that this game is supposed to have one Mad Lib at time. So, for example, one NFT a week, and in this week, the user, the community will participate to this Mad Lib. So for now, we see that we have 2 Mad Libs closed, because we can't propose things or vote proposal, and we have this Mad Libs 2, that is the one that is now open. So, for example, we can insert a proposal. Now I can't, because I already inserted my proposal, and we can show all the proposal, and then here we can vote. And here we can see all the proposal with their proposal, with the field that filled the text in this NFT. So, for example, my proposal was next from J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter, and the Chamber of Italians. So, and now this is the proposal that that is winning. So, for example, if we decide now to close this Mad Lib, and this power, this decisional power, have the owner of the NFT, and in emergency case, the owner of the contract, in order to not suck the game if the owner of the NFT will not close this. So for now, if as I see, my proposal is the one with the most vote. So if I close this NFT now, we can see, hoping that this will work. Okay, we can see that this NFT will change the text with the word Italians. That is my proposal. That will fill this blank. Okay, maybe transaction is a little bit slow.
Goerli's just a slow test network. We should just have test networks with 5-second blocks. 15 seconds is too long to wait.
So let's wait. And so this is the most of this game. The starting idea was to base this on funny stories about Web3. So, but for now, for demo purposes, we make funny phrases. So I can, okay. So as you can see, now this NFT it's closed, and my proposal fill this text, and now I'm the owner of this NFT. So this is the part that I will change, because I think that involving the community in owning this NFT after the closing of this NFT will involve also more people to participate and willing to have a piece of this NFT. So
Yeah, it seems like you could
That's
do like tokens and like a token, like an
yes,
ERC20 token that streams to people as they're voting. You could even drop
yes,
it, but it's cooler if the contract releases it itself, right?
yes.
Cool
Because
build.
I think it's fair to, for example, give a part to the user that will mint, and other parts to people that get involved in proposal, and rewarding the people that get the best proposal with the more token, for example.
Like a little prediction market in there. Yeah, for
Yes.
sure. That's great. Lorenzo, did you want to say something too? Good job, guys. Great build. This is a fun
Thank you.
build.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, I just want to say that we are backend developers in our life, so the interface is ugly because of this. Yeah,
that's what
the most
Scaffold-Eth is
time
for.
Yeah, it's
the most time was
it's
losing to make this front end a little bit better.
yeah. We finished the smart contract in 1 week, I think, but the front end part is been.
We are not the front enders.
So
that's funny how it works, right? You spend 20% of the contract and 80% on the React, trying to just get the buttons to work with the contract, for sure. I've been there.
But we learned a lot, because I think that now we can use React as a best tool for the front end.
Awesome. Great work. So it's kind of like a Nouns DAO type SVG NFT where it's auctioned every week or day or something like that. And in between the auctions, you're proposing and voting on what words to fill the Mad Lib in with. And then it kind of gets minted out to, and other people get rewarded based on their mints kind of eventually. That's a really cool build. Great stuff. And it's all on chain too. Like the text is on chain, just like Loot and some of those other ones. Yeah.
All on
Great
chain.
work, guys. Keep building. Keep building and exploring and learning this kind of stuff. This is great stuff. Keep going on your journey.
Thank you.
Okay. I think we have one last one. I think we have Alex showing off like a Ethereum tech tree kind of engine kind of display. We have this idea of the speed run where it's kind of very linear, where you take on these challenges, but then we want it to open up and be like a tech tree of different challenges you can take on. So we're kind of playing around right now with different ways we can visualize that tech tree. And I have it in like a dumb Miro board, but I think we also are working on like a dynamic displayer. So I think Blind Nabbler will show that off next.
Totally. Yeah, you hit the nail right in the head. That's exactly what it is. Because I can go ahead and share my screen here, and I can show off what some of the issues were and kind of why it was difficult to implement some of this stuff. So the goal for the tech tree, once it's finished, is like these are the designs that were implemented by Andrea, and they look super sick and they're radical. But the thing is like kind of hard to implement, right? Especially, I guess it's not hard to like copy this, but one thing we want to keep in mind is that ideally the tech tree should have, you know, upwards of 200 nodes or something. It should be able to scale, and we should be able to still navigate this tree very well. And so, you know, it was pretty difficult trying to figure out what this is, but I ended up landing on Elk.js for the layout engine for this whole thing. And now we have a proper layout engine. We can do this here. It does a nice little animation that I did this morning to like showcase panning around the tree. And it looks super ugly right now. That's because none of the nodes are styled. We have a lot of heavy hitter front end people that are going to make it look very nice and pretty. But for now, I was just concerned with rendering out the nodes correctly. So you can kind of see that these nodes have like subtrees and whatnot. And I'm just going to configure around some of the parameters to get it to look exactly like we were planning. But so far, this is super promising, and really excited to, I guess, have got this done, because that was kind of a big question mark, at least in my end of things for the tech tree. So pretty excited for people to start using it.
Cool,
it's a
man.
pretty short demo. It's kind of like,
is it JSON
like,
or what? How does it trigger or rendered? Yeah, it's
a flat JSON file for the data, and then we render it all dynamically. So actually, we can try adding some stuff. Like, let's say we want to add a sub node over to the challenge 0. We can just pop over here. Live demos are always fun. Let's add in some made up one. Let's go like, let's pop this in. Oops. ID 420. That's a super cool challenge. Oh, cool. Thanks, Copilot. Let's see. Yeah, cool. There we go. So updated cool right there. Super cool challenge has been popped into the tree and now it's beautiful. So it's yeah, dynamic and updates according to everything and should be super easy to extend. And also we can still add the nodes and whatnot. So adding nodes visually is still definitely an option, which we can just plop into the JSON as well. So we can make editing it pretty equivalent to like a Miro board, and rendering it will be nice. We got a little bit messed up when I added that node in, but it's okay. Anywho, that's kind of about it.
Nice work, dude. That's cool. Yeah, we'll have to figure out how we like. There's kind of how what I was speaking about earlier. There's lots of different kind of tangents and stuff working on this idea of this Ethereum tech tree. I'm excited to get everybody together in Denver and just have a session with a whiteboard and kind of whiteboard out my idea of what I think the tech tree should be, and then like get a lot of feedback from a lot of builders and kind of iterate on that. And then maybe we'll have a beautiful design one. Maybe we'll have one that's more dynamic. Maybe it's actually going to be a game and you go to BuidlGuidl and you like quest through the tree, kind of taking on challenges and submitting them like we did with the speed run. We'll see how it turns out. We're still working on it. Yeah. Great build, Alex. Great build, everyone. Cool set of builds today. Keep building on Scaffold-Eth. Reach out if you have any questions. Happy Bowtie Friday. Thanks for being here, all the presenters. Thank you guys for showing off. I'll see you in a couple more Fridays. Happy Bowtie Friday. Thanks, guys.
See you.